Alright, hi guys, Leonard here. Now, today I want to talk about the effect of backspin on different kind of shots. So I went down in practice mode, which is probably the easiest way to figure out on what distance your clubs go with the balls you equipped. So right now I've got the level 90 RSI 2 iron set from TaylorMade, and level 47 TaylorMade TP5 balls. They have 3.5 distance and 4 spin. So actually I think that's enough. You don't have to spend 1,000 credits every time for the Titleist balls. They do the job very good. Now it's your decision on what balls you play and on what equipment. Well, I'm saying the TaylorMade balls worked for me every time. I used to play the Titleist a long time, but I switched back to the TaylorMades because I've got a better feeling with them. Now, this one it's tough to say on how far my club normally goes without any wind, but I'll just put it down there to about 250 or 3 wood. Now my 3 wood without any spin and with the TaylorMade balls and without wind normally goes about 260. So that's about it right here. It wasn't really much wind from in front. So now there's different shots you can hit here. Now usually you have 2 or 3 wedges in your bag. Now normally if your pitching wedge goes 120, then the next logic club would be a 100-yard wedge, and then down to 70, 75 and a 50-yard wedge. Alright, so let's see. We've got 70 yards. We don't really have much wind, just from the left. So what I want to do here is take out the ruler, set up at a pin, and move the ruler down to about 20 centimeters left. Now distance still 70 yards. Now when the ball lands, it will spin a little bit further to the right. So I will aim a couple of more yards to the left. So I've got that yardage, or that 1-2 yards. It's gonna go right. I took them into account. Now let's say 70 yards. Actually no elevation. Not really that you have to calculate it or add anything to the number. Wind maybe 2 yards, but not much more. So we'll play it 72. Now if I hit my 75-yard wedge with full backspin, this is gonna go bananas on the crane, as you see. It's a good line, but as soon as it gets on the ground, okay, that's interesting. Normally it would spin back about 10 yards. Now this wedge has 4.5 spin, so that's the one option. Now second option, what I would prefer is aim left edge of the crane, put barely backspin on it, and hit it about 96%, 97. That should normally do the trick. I pushed it a little, but this is gonna do just fine. Now as you see, this one's gonna come down and spin towards the hole. Now you don't always have to go full backspin. I'll show you why on number 2 and on number 4. Now let's just clean this one up. Get it? Alright, now on number 2, if you have downwind and you're comfortable going over the rough, let's just put it down here. 239 for backspin and about here. So put it right down there where you're normally at if you hit a foot driver. into the first half of the fairway. Alright. Now, this is going to turn into a straight headwind. So, yardage 231. No elevation, we're pretty even. Aim, then you do the process with aiming. You aim for the green and take a look with the putt view on where the best spot is. Turn the dots. So you see it's downhill back there, back here, downhill or uphill here. Goes back off the green, then it goes downhill and back here it's uphill again. Alright, so we're aiming about here. So let's go there. No, a little bit. Yeah, that should do. 231. Now we've got 14 to 16 miles per hour wind, headwind, from 11 o'clock. So we'll take the shorter number, so not 16 divided by 2, but we'll take, on this wind I usually take the smaller number, divided by 2. So we've got 7 yards of wind, so it's played 238. Now, there's a couple of options. My 3-iron with TaylorMade balls usually goes about 233, 234. So if I want to lay up short of the green and have a pitch shot, I could hit a 3-iron, but I cannot carry a 220 with this wind. So that takes a 3-iron out of play. Now second shot is 3 wood. You can take 50% backspin or full backspin. Usually it's played 238, so with 3 wood doesn't have that much spin, so we'd rather take full backspin and hit it. Now, if you have an iron into the green, let's put it down at a comfortable number. It should turn and be in the middle of the fairway. Perfect. That's the yardage I want to.
That's in the garden spot.
170. Now, again, we've got our process with wind elevation, which is 2 yards or 1 yard. So we'll go with 2 yards because it's slightly into the wind. Then take the ruler out. 14 to 16. Aim. So it is a yard uphill, so 68 plus 3 yards of wind maybe. That's just about getting to know the effect of the wind. So after a bit of time you'll figure out on how much effect the wind will have on your shot and on different kind of shots. So we'll go with 3 yards of wind, 71 plus a yard uphill, 72. Now full 7-iron could get there, we'll see, but has a tendency to probably be a little bit short. It's still gonna, the advantage there is it's not gonna come down on the ground and stop that, so you can say it's still gonna release a little bit, so you can get it back there with a 7-iron. If it's not much into the wind, as soon as it plays about 6 yards, soon as you get adjusted yardage, as soon as you get a adjusted yardage of 174, 175, you probably can't get a 7-iron back there. So that's one option. Second option would be a 6-iron. So we're still 3 yards wind, 71, 72 with the elevation. So second shot would be a 6-iron, 180 yard club, full backspin and almost full, just a hair less. As you'll see, this one come down and stop pretty much on the mark, and it's tough to control the distance. Now you saw here it even took the downhill slope right here because it landed on a uphill slope. It took a bounce back. So if you go with the longer club and full backspin, you have to remind yourself that it's slightly into the wind, so the ball's gonna stop quicker in the air. It's gonna get pushed back in the air. Now, if you want to take a 6-iron or the longer club, you feel comfortable with that, you can go with just take a bit of spin off and hit it about just a little bit less power. Now, as soon as you adjust the spin, you also have to adjust the power, which knowledge on how much you have to adjust the spin and the power will come after time. So that's about on how much the wind has effect on the ball and how you have to go at it and figure out how much spin do I want to put on the ball. Do I have to stop it dead, or can the ball release a little bit? Now here, the same procedure. I'll take a 3-iron here, put a bit of spin on it because we want to land it on the downslope. And this is going to turn. Now 3-iron after T 237, slightly into the wind. Well, half backspin goes about 15 yards shorter than without any spin. Now if we hit this shot again at 3-iron, we almost got no elevation, a yard downhill. So if we go to 225, a yard downhill, I will go with, without any spin. This will probably carry around the same number, but this one will release. I see just over 130. It's uphill there. Now second here. We got 61 yards. About 5 feet uphill is. I'll go with 2 yards uphill. The wind's not gonna do much, so we'll just take a yard off with the wind. So we're at 62 yards. Now 2 options. A 75-yard wedge. Tough to control on how much power you need to hit, but I'd say about 86-88%. Maximum 86%. Now this one will come down on the ground, but because it's slightly downwind, it's not gonna spin. So it's gonna release, even with spin balls or spinning wedges. Now, second option would be you go ahead and put a bit of spin on it and still go with the same number, about 88%. That's the second option. Now this one's going to be much better. This one's going to be a lot better. Now, as soon as you have balls with at least 3 spin, and wedges with at least 4 spin, you don't have to put full backspin on the shot, because it's gonna spin a lot more. Maybe it's gonna stop that, or just spin a yard back and look weird. Let's see. Same here. It's gonna bounce forward, so you can. It depends. Sometimes it spins back off the green. Sometimes it just bounces forward and stops. Now, like a punch shot maybe. Now if we go same shot again with 62, so we can hit a 62-yard punch. That's actually gonna not have as much effect on the ball. The wind's not gonna have as much effect on the ball as a full shot, because it's gonna be flighted down. So we'll put a bit of backspin on it and full shot. Let's play it 62. We go 62 yards with adjusted yardage. This one's still gonna come down, bounce a yard forward, and stop. Now, you don't always have to hit full backspin or even put any spin on the ball. You can also go with punch it and just hit it about 92-93%. That's also a bit of a trick. But as I said, you have to figure it out yourself. You can do in practice mode. You can go on keyword and go in practice mode. Let's see, stroke play, practice mode, and usually if I have to remap my clubs, I go on keyword, put low wind, easy tees, easy pinches, or whatever, go even lies and tee off. Now there I can hit as many balls as I want. I can practice as long as I want. I can hit a ball wherever I want, and hit as many shots from whatever position. Now we say 2 yards of wind. Now if I want to know how much my 6 iron goes off the tee without any spin, I can go ahead and just hit it. Now I know if I miss a bit of left, so usually I hit about 10 shots and see how many are left, how many are right, and how many are excellent. Then you can say normal 6 iron, now we're at 195. Take 2 yards off, so with 193 off the tee. Now, if I say I want to know how far my 6 iron goes off the ground, off the fairway, I'll just hit one to the front of the fairway and then hit a 6 iron from there. Now I've got 186. I can go just hit the fairway or just aim for the fairway. It's almost no elevation here, so we'll go about here. Now, or let's take another club. Let's say I want to know how far my 8 iron goes without any spin. Now I say I aim down to 150. Let's find it. 150. It's a yard downhill and 2 yards of wind. So we'll go 150. 8 iron, pushed it, but now I know how much my about a couple of yards, how far my 3-wood will go, or sorry, 8 iron. Now I know 2 yards less, 150 minus a yard downhill, so at 149. I didn't hit it solid. So if I ding it, let's try if I can ding it. If I ding it, let's see how far this one goes. It's much further carry in the air, so not really. But you see, it's already further. Now, same with punch shots. You just position yourself down here, short of the green, and now you can hit as many shots as you want. You can say, okay, I want to know how this my 50-yard wedge react. Now I'm gonna go with 75%. Probably gonna be short. It's gonna stop that. Okay, so now I know a full 50, full backspin 50-yard wedge with about 3/4 swing goes about just over 30 yards. Now I hit the same shot again. Now let's go with 90%. Let's see what happens there. And that's just how you can practice and figure out on how far your different clubs go. Now this one downwind, it's gonna spin back a yard. Now then you can do the same with a punch shot. Now okay, now you can do your punch chart for this club. Usually that'd be about 40-yard punch shot or full backspin. Now it's gonna be about the right yardage because it's gonna spin back a little, so it's gonna be a couple of yards long. Now this is about how you figure out on how long does every single club go with every single impact, and yeah, this way you can figure out your holdback from putter on the green to your driver off the tee, and even your driver off the fairway if you want to have some fun. Now I hope this video helped you guys. I would really appreciate if you leave me a comment or contact me on WGT and leave me a message on what you'd like to see, or what you would like me to make a video about. And so far so good. Stay safe and see you next time.